Alright, here is the video review for Unique Toys Palm Collection figures. This set is Day and Night, Cerebros and Snapdragon. This one is No Minds and Unhappy, aka Highbrow and Ape Face. Now, they showed up together. I found out I didn't. They showed up in a packages. Here's four. Like, here's some samples. I had to go looking to find them, and I figured I'd just shoot them all together because there's only ones currently from the Palm Collection that I have, and it was... why not? I do think I like Day the best, just because he is a Fort Max Cerebros who turns into a Fort Max head and does not have a corresponding Fort Max to attach to. He's not scaled to any of them. Just a head. I think that's kind of ballsy and fun. But they're all pretty cool. The Ape Face and Snapdragon are in fact triple changers, and we'll show that off. Now, we'll go one by one. I guess we'll just go ahead and start here with the Day and Night set. Again, starting off with Day. Now, his swords can store on his head mode. They tab in here onto his legs when he's in robot mode. And you can you have to disassemble the transformation a little bit to get these to come out a little bit. But you can plug them in and store them there on the back of his legs. Well, you have to untap his legs from up here just a little bit to get them to stay in. Nothing drastic. It drastically changes his alt mode. He is a little thick from front to back. But yeah. So you can store those there, and they can kind of work as a stand to have them stand level if you want. Now, Night here, I've got his fins plugged in down here, and then his other fins / guns plugged into his back. There are spots for that. There's no real official way to attach them, unless there are ports, so just use them. But I did see a picture, and this is kind of neat. It's not super accurate, but it does look a little awkward. But if you take all the fins off, and plug these and use this end to plug these up here so that this peg is up on the top. And same over here. And then you can attach these up here and then attach these on this peg to kind of give him dragon wings. They sit a little further back. Actually, I guess they're right above his shoulder, so not really super far back. But I saw this picture where these were attached up here as dragon wings. Now, these sets didn't come with official instructions, so I don't know how official that is. But if you want to give them some kind of dragon-esque wings up there with the guns, you can. Or you can just leave them alone. He's got a little bit of posability. This is just a transformation joint where his hips flip forward. But you kind of crunch him there. The tail's got the hinge there. This hinge, and it does rotate there. He's got the ball joint up here, ball joint at the knee, and then a ball joint at his foot. So he's pretty posable there. His little dragon arms just go like that. His neck's got a little bit of up and down, not really so much on the side to side, and his jaw does open here in this mode. Day, however, is just a head. He doesn't have any meaningful articulation in head mode. He is simply a head. Let's go ahead and turn him into a jet, and then we'll do them both to robot mode. So to jet mode, pop off his little dinosaur head. These two little pegs peg into what will become his feet, just like that, to hold his head on. You can see there's his robot head. We'll go ahead and flip him out to, like I said, he turns into a little robot. You got to get his jaw open. There we go. Like that. And he's a very simple, weird robot, but technically a robot. And we can also have him sit down here. So right here, we're going to go ahead and fold his dinosaur legs up, or his front legs up. Like I said, this is his waist joint, so get these up out of the way and just rotate this either direction. You just want to get this basically like this in relation to the jet mode. Straighten out his tail and rotate it around so this purple piece and this yellow piece are on the same edge. Rotate the legs around and then tab them right in here into the side. Like this. And that locks all this together. Hold these little caps down. Those are just to allow for some posability. And then just take the fins here, small fins, plug into his legs right here. And then the guns themselves have 2 peg holes back here and up here that will peg in. Make sure these are rotated so they're lined up. But peg into the side here. And the feet you can really kind of rotate however you wish. If you want to fold these in and fold the feet in, you can. And then you can peg that together. And there's his jet mode, which is all things considered not a horrible jet mode for a figure of this size. And then you can open up his torso here, and that will give you a space to set the little headmaster in and close it up. Well, you may have to adjust how he sits in there to get him to fit. You may actually fold him in half and just kind of whatever. But yeah, he can sit inside the jet. Now on to robot mode for day. It's very simple. You just kind of unpeg his legs here and extend them up. There's a swivel here, a ball joint here, and a hinge here. And you're just going to swing that hip place up into place, bring his arms out, rotate them so the shoulder pads come out. And then these, you can take these off. These are just pegged on, but these just kind of rotate and hang out on the back of his arms. And there's Cerebros in robot mode, or day. Oh, then they can lift this up, close this up to cover his face, and then fold this middle piece down to completely hide his giant mode face on the back. It's got a waist swivel, which is cool. And then you've got a solid red sword and a translucent red sword, and he can, of course, hold those, whichever one you wish, or both at the same time in his hands. His head comes off as well, and also forms a little robot. Posability-wise, he's actually got a head swivel. That's about it there. Ball joints at the shoulder, ball joints at the elbow, as well as that transformation hinge up there you can use a little bit. He does have a waist swivel, ball joint hips, a hinge knee, and then that lower ball joint. Although that's not really functionally relevant. And he does have ankle tilts. So, like I said, Day's actually a pretty cool figure. I dig him, especially for his weird disembodied Fort Max head. And then Night here. We'll go ahead and pop the guns off. You can choose to leave these on. It's a little easier to pop them off because they're probably going to come off while you're transforming him. But if you want to go and leave them on, you can. So unpeg the arms from the side here. Bring them down around like this. Rotate them so the fists are facing forward. Like that. Open up this torso. Flip this down. And flip this around. This comes up. This whole assembly back here rotates around like this. And then actually, before you slide this up, rotate it so the black goes in, because you're going to close this up. And then this cockpit folds onto his back like that. Then just plug his hips back in down here. Separate his feet like that. Separate this is where it gets tricky. These peg together. And tab the green feet. And then rotate the legs down and around. You want them so these pieces face forward, but then before you close these up, flip the foot down and around, and then close this panel around and snap it into the leg. And then fold that post up that just holds the feet together. Again, bring this down, close this up and around, bring his foot forward. There he is, mostly in robot mode. You can open his little chest to see his tech specs. You can do the same on Cerebros, which we'll do in just a second. Fold up his head, and then it uses this green post at the back. There's a little cutout here. You use the green post at the back, and then even with those pegs that allow his dinosaur head to peg into the neck, he still has some head swivel. Not a lot, but he can at least look side to side, which is nice. And you've got the ball joint shoulders, ball joint elbows, ball joint wrists, waist swivel, ball joint hip, ball joint knee, and then the ball joint in the toe, which gives it a little bit of front and back, and as well as a little bit of ankle tilt. And then you can just have him hold his guns. As I mentioned here, you can flip open, if I can get it going here. There you go. You can open up his chest to see his tech specs as well. So there's those two. And we'll go ahead and get the other two out here. And you're in kind of the same boat. He does have a little gun, and like, I haven't really found a way for him to store his gun. You can kind of have him hold it in the monkey hand, or it doesn't quite fit. I guess you can. You can if you want to store it like as a forearm laser there in his monkey mode. I really like this guy. He's got some really neat transformation too, because you can kind of see how his thighs are forming like his upper torso here in monkey mode, gorilla mode, whatever, and all this stuff. Whereas No Minds here is pretty simple. And again, his little headmaster is hiding inside the cockpit. There we go. Little robot dude, little basic robot dude who folds in half to form his head. Okay, so there's his helicopter. He does have the spinning propellers and the guns under there. There's really not a whole lot to talk about here in helicopter mode. He doesn't really have any head rotation here in gorilla mode, but he's got ball joint shoulders, hinged elbows, ball joint wrists, so you can have him walking on his knuckles. You can have him having normal hands. He's got a bicep swivel. Well, that does pop his fins up a little bit. He's got a ball joint at the hip here, ball joint knee, and then a swivel at the foot. And there's a swivel up here for transformation, and you can also, if you'd rather have him standing a little taller, you can give him longer legs if you want as a gorilla. But I like to have the little wider hips where he's walking around on his knuckles, but entirely up to you. We'll pop him off. There's his robot head. It is super visible there on the back of his monkey head, but whatever. In his jet mode, I'm going to fold this up. Undo all of this and peg the wings here. The nose cone and tabs and comes forward. This is going to come back. Also, what's neat is this monkey chest hides on his hips. You got to rotate the hips out, and then this piece, get his thighs out unpegged here. And when you rotate this out, you fold this up, and then it just stores in there for the rest of the time. I just like that he's got the flip-out chest piece. We popped off one of his fins, but they just peg on just like Days did. And here it's just a matter of kind of folding this stuff all up. And then bringing his foot up back here. His plane mode is not as good as Snapdragon's. You bring this up around, so he's got his fins up. I got his fins on the wrong direction. Rotate these around. Yeah, okay, that one's right. Is it? Wait, no, this one. Rotate this around and then rotate this around because you want the fins to be on the outside. And these should peg together. How did I do this wrong? There we go. They should peg together. Fold this up. Fold these up like this. Oh, there we go. And then rotate the hips around. There you go, like that. And then the monkey fists fold up and they tab in right here. These tab together. His little rear fin should be sitting up here like this. His legs. And then his arms come back and under. This piece comes back here. At least it should. All right, this whole assembly comes up. You gotta flip this purple piece up. There we go. Flip that purple piece up, and then that's gonna tab on down here on the legs. Fold these down, the arms come down and around like this, and then peg on. Use the robot fist to peg on back here. like that. Flatten it all out. You can take the headmaster and stick him in the cockpit. Kind of have to wiggle him in there. Close the canopy. And then the gun pegs in under here. And that's his jet mode. It's a little weird. Like I said, it's not as good as Snapdragon's. But there it is, and there's next to the helicopter. It's very long and skinny. I'll go ahead and take him to robot mode since we're already messing with him. Flip his canopy up. Flip his head out. Flip. Unpeg his robot fists, because we're already mostly to robot mode here. Let's fold this all back up. Close the wings around, which latch and hold the torso together. There's his tech specs that are hiding in there. Flip that down. Flip that onto his back. These down onto the legs, flip up his feet on the hinge. There's a ball joint down here and a hinge. Bring his arms down around at the elbow. Give him his gun. And then transform his headmaster and tab it in. And again, he doesn't really have it. He's got a little bit of side to side just due to the looseness, but he doesn't have a whole lot of head transformation. But there he is in robot mode. He's got no articulation there, ball joint and hinge, ball joint, no wrist swivel really. He does have a waist swivel, they all do, which is nice. Ball joint hips, ball joint knees, and then a ball joint down here on the toe. I guess you can kind of use the monkey ball joint if you need it, but it's pretty stable as it is. And then for no minds here, you can see he's pretty simple. We're going to go ahead, pop his guns off, untab his arms here, and split his legs. I'll get this, yeah, untap this here. His whole lower, this piece you can see slides on the waist. So when it's collapsed, you hook it up and then you slide it to tab this in, and then you slide it back to unlock it. So come down that, splits his legs. And then these just fold up into his feet, which do have some ankle tilt, which we'll show off in a minute. Rotate those around, and this whole assembly, open up the cockpit. Again, fold this into it, and then close it up. This whole folds back around. There's a couple tabs there, the tab in there. This folds onto his back. Bring the arms around. And the arms actually have a little bit of a clever transformation because this piece comes untabs from the side, then slides up, and then rotates. Actually, you might want to do it before you slide it up. Rotates around to the back of his arm. Like that. And then slides up. So it sits back there, which is kind of cool. So again, rotate it here first, close this up, and then slide it upward there on that post. Like I said, there's this ankle tilt there on his feet. And then attach his head. He also has the little, they make these things so hard to get into, but he's got the flip out tech specs there. And two guns. So yeah, no head articulation on him either. I guess they spent that budget on the other two. But ball joint shoulders, ball joint elbows, no wrist swivel, waist swivel, ball joint hips, ball joint knees, and then the ankle tilt on him. So yeah, there is No Minds and Unhappy. And here is Day and Night. I do think the Day and Night set probably a little bit more fun overall. But Unhappy and Night, aka Ape Face and Snapdragon, look really good. They're fun little pocket dudes, even if Ape Face's jet mode is a little These guys are both pretty solid. I really do like the Fort Max head that he turns into. But both decentish solid sets. I still feel like for your money, Iron Factory's doing some of the best stuff at this scale right now. But like I said, these are really fun, and like I said, it's highbrow. I don't have a big attachment one way or the other to highbrow. I like Cerebros anyway. This is a fun little dude. These guys are fun little versions, especially here in robot mode of these two guys. So yeah, there is Unique Toys Palm Collection, Night and Day, No Minds, and Unhappy.